We want to talk a little bit about the Saints' new look defensive backfield here as they continue to kind of move guys in and make some changes as we knew they would after the 53-man rosters were set. Yesterday, signing Desmond Trufant after the Bears cut him. He missed some of camp, the death of his father. He wasn't there, came back, maybe a groin issue here or there, but the Bears had seen enough, and they decided to move on from him. You think that's a big deal as a signing?
I wouldn't call it a big deal. I think he can contribute, especially early on in the season until you get the Lattimore stuff figured out, especially if he does get suspended. He provides depth to that room. A guy who knows how to play in the NFL. Is he going to have a Pro Bowl or breakout season? I wouldn't go that far, but I think he can definitely come in and contribute and be viable at the corner position.
So that was yesterday, and then today they turn around and make a trade with the Houston Texans. They trade for Bradley Roby. He's at the end of a 6-game suspension for performance-enhancing drugs, so not available week 1, but he is available in week 2. 7-year vet in the NFL. He's got 10 career picks. He started 35 games in the last 3 years with Houston and Denver. That's a guy who's played a lot of NFL football and has played at a pretty high level.
Yeah, he's definitely I give him above average cornerback in this league. Not like a superstar or Pro Bowl guy, but he definitely is viable out there. You can't just try him. You can't just throw the ball his way. He's going to make a play at some point. So I think he definitely, as well, fits that mold of Desmond Trufant, just providing depth to that room, something that the Saints need. I was waiting for them to make moves, and I was wondering what they were going to do, but this is what I expected. So that's definitely something that's going to help their secondary.
How quickly can a corner get up to speed in a defense?
Pretty fast, man. They probably doing one of 4 things every play.
Right.
Either they're playing off coverage and they got that quarter of the field, or they're playing man. Or they're playing squad coverage, which is cover 6 or cover 2, and they just got the flat. So, really, that's probably one of the easiest positions to learn is corner.
Very rarely do I know the answer to a question that I asked you, but I did know that one. I think a corner, you just get out there and let's play the defense. Like it's obviously there are some communication things and checks and whatnot that sometimes you got to get involved with, but I think you can pretty much get up and running as a corner pretty quickly. And so. Now, incidentally, now the Saints have 7 Ohio State Buckeyes on their roster as they add Bradley Roby. So what do you think the defensive backfield looks like on Sunday against the Packers?
I think you got Paulson Adebo. I can't even say his last name.
Paulson Adebo.
I think Paulson Adebo is going to play a lot of snaps. I think they're going to have to throw him in there early. Obviously, you don't have Bradley Roby. I think Marshawn is playing the first couple weeks, right?
To this point, yes. I mean, that's we continue to have beat writers on every week and ask them, nothing's happened. So, as Catherine Terrell came on 2 weeks here with us and said, look, apparently this docket is very slow. We don't expect anything to happen in the case for a few weeks. And until anything happens, the NFL hadn't said you can't play, so he's playing.
Yeah, so I'd say Lattimore, Adebo, and I think Ken Crowley. I think those are the 3 corners. You run some C.J. Gardner-Johnson at nickelback a little bit too, and you move Malcolm Jenkins to the box and play some linebacker, and with him and Demario Davis, I think this defense can be better than people think.
You think they can match up against the Packers with Devontae and crew?
It's really gonna be Devontae. I think Devontae is what makes that receiver room what it is. They have some other guys like Lazard and Valdez-Scantling, but it's really Adams. And if you can get Lattimore on Adams and slow him down, just cut his numbers in half, you keep him to 60, 70 receiving yards, then you're giving yourself a chance to win this game. But if Aaron Rodgers can hook up with Devontae and they're hooking up for 150, 2 tubs, you're gonna be walking off that field with the L.
It's the thing about Lattimore, and this is noticing this even as not being a diehard Saints fan that's locked in as much as most around here. It's not the big names that give him trouble. He gets it dialed up when Mike Evans shows up.
Yeah,
he'll go hand fight with Julio, but at times he looks disinterested. I don't think you have to worry about that on Sunday.
Oh no, he's one of the more fiery guys. That's something I love about Marshawn. He comes out there with some attitude and ready to play, not taking crap from anyone, and he plays press coverage, which is some of the hardest things to do with these elite athletes that you see trot out there at receiver. And he's one of the best press guys, and that fits this defense perfectly. And if you can get Cam Jordan and Davenport to have a pulse coming off that edge, man, this defense can be a lot better than people think.
I think the bigger matchup, a lot will be made of Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and what's the Saints' new look secondary look like, and there's Lattimore and what do we have here? Really, the game, we spent all week last week talking about how LSU was better on the outside. I think the Chiefs are pretty dadgum good on the outside. How'd the Super Bowl go?
Yeah.
It really comes down to, can you block them? Now, Aaron's just unbelievable at moving around, at getting the ball out quick. I mean, he's phenomenal. But if the Saints can apply a little bit of pressure to that Packer offensive line, the game changes a little bit. And that's, they lose their center in Corey Lindsey, who we talked about has moved on to the Chargers. That offensive line, Pro Football Focus had the Packers ranked the second best offensive line in the NFL last year. So it's really good, and Rodgers makes them even better. But if the Saints can get after Rodgers a little bit, they'll give themselves a chance. Easier said than done, but you got to count on your guys like Cam Jordan to bounce back and have a big year, and you got to find some pass rush.
Yeah, I think you go to the last time the Packers lost, which was the NFC Championship game. The Bucs got pass rush. You saw Shaq Barrett in the backfield. You saw JPP in the backfield. They made it tough for Aaron. Aaron's going to score points. You're not going to shut him out. He's going to score points, but what you got to do is get pressure in his face, make it tough to convert third downs, and try to keep him off the field as much as possible. And I think the Saints defense has the guys, obviously not up the middle, I would say, but on the edge rushers can get pressure on the quarterback. And if they have a day, then the Saints can definitely compete in this football game.